Tubers, how are we, people, and welcome to part 28. Once again, thank you to my subscribers and to my viewers. And yeah, no real updates. So let's hook right into this. We're going to start at the Bendigo Vintage Talking Tram Tour, as I mentioned in the last part. So we'll have a bit of a look at that. They're W-class trams, so they're basically the same ones as the old Melbourne ones. But yeah, fantastic. As I say, and it reminds me, I think back to when I was a kid, and getting on the trams, and they were all W-class back then. There was none of the modern ones, but yeah, fantastic, really good. And to go up and down the Ballarat, it's just like sort of going through the streets of the older suburbs of Melbourne. So let's hook right into this, guys.
Okay, now would you like to be on the safe side?
G'day and welcome aboard. I'm one of Bendigo's vintage talking trams. I'm a part of a fleet of over 45 heritage trams, which include the largest collection of original Melbourne trams in Australia. More than half of Bendigo's...
When I picked it up and realised it was gold, I could hardly believe my eyes.
The pair found enough gold that day to fill a sock. They tried to keep their discovery a secret, but news spread quickly, and within 6 months, up to 20,000 diggers had descended upon Bendigo, hoping... coming up on our left was dedicated in the early 1950s. Apart from its smaller size, this memorial commemorating those who have died at war is identical to its counterpart in London's Whitehall district. Next to the cenotaph is the Alexandra Fountain, which was once the main shaft of the Hustlers Royal Reserve Mine, which for decades thundered away right here in the city. It mined the Great Hustlers Reef, one of the richest reefs ever discovered in Australia. Notice the life-size statue of Sir George Lancel holding a lump of quartz in his hand. George Lancel was... The former Sandhurst public offices were opened in 1887. Then at Federation became the Bendigo Post Office. Today it is home to the city's visitor centre and the post office, but they had to relinquish their positions when the men returned from service. Next stop, Lake Waroona. As we cross the Bendigo Creek, you will notice that the bed of the creek is paved with bluestone. Over 100 years ago, the city councillors were forced to pave the creek in order to prevent slime and mud choking it and inundating the city, as a result of thousands of miners using their puddling machines further up the valley. We are now turning into Bridge Street, a street rich in history. The area behind us, near the Golden Dragon Museum, used to be the centre of Bendigo's very own Chinatown. During the gold rush, thousands of Chinese walked almost 500 kilometres to Bendigo after first arriving in Rome on the South Australian coast. The ship's captains did this to avoid paying the £10 tax levied by the Victorian government on every Chinese person arriving onto the Bendigo Mining Exchange. In the late 19th century, at the height of the gold boom, traders on the ground floor would often overflow into the street. Next stop, Charing Cross. If you're getting off hands, the State Electricity Commission couldn't afford to keep the system running. On the 16th of April, 1972, 20,000 people lined Bendigo streets. And as the last two trams led a procession down Pall Mall,
This is pretty colourful, tubers. This is one of the trams, obviously, but looks like one of the local crochet clubs have completely covered it inside and out. Yeah, very colourful, very bright. Looks good. Just about everything we do as a species is controlled by some bloody sign of some type or another. Wherever you go, there is signs telling you what to do, like we're a bunch of morons. Maybe we are, because we seem to need those bloody signs everywhere. This looks like the main yard heading into the sheds or the workshops, I should say. And this nice, shiny-looking W-class tram is getting what they call a water test. So I'd say it's just been reconditioned or something and sealed up, and they're actually giving it the water test. There's guys inside checking for leaks as it goes through the hoses. The level of craftsmanship that went into, well, not just these trams, a lot of stuff at this age and older, all done by hand. Look at all this woodwork, all, probably hand cut and polished and all of that. Brass work, all these kinds of things. Real tradesmen, the highly processed manufactured things that we've got today, they don't look a thing compared to this. Quick view of just part of the workshop here, guys. This is obviously where they do repairs, but also full restorations. Speaking of which, this didn't come out as well as I'd hoped. They've got a bit of a pit under one of the old trams here, and you can walk under and have a bit of a look at all the old mechanisms and bits and pieces that used to make them go. But it didn't come out quite as well as what I'd hoped, but I won't edit it, I'll leave it how I took it. But you had to wear hard hats to go under here, for obvious reasons, because it's only about 4 or 5 foot high, so I had to squat down to actually walk around underneath. That's why it's a bit funny, but you can hear on my way out, you can hear 3 distinct taps, and that's me belting the helmet against the bottom of the tram, so there's a reason why we wear them, guys. Tubers, this is the Sacred Heart Cathedral, right in the heart of Bendigo on the main street. You cannot miss it. You can see these spires for miles away. I think they're the tallest one there. What did they say? It was 60 or 70 metres or some bloody thing. But what an amazing structure. Now, inside and out, this is a work of art. Now, I'm not sure quite how old the place is. I'm sure it dates back to the 1800s. Could you imagine the amount of money required to build something like this back then and even today? And I don't even know if we could build this today. It's just incredible. But very. I'm not a religious man, as I said, as you know, and but you walk in here and you can't help but feel that. There might be a bit of a presence somewhere. As I say, I don't believe any of it, but they probably used to fill this place of parishioners and that sort of thing. People praying to a so-called God that they never see. But anyway, let's not get into that. But yeah, amazing, amazing building. Just the architecture is fantastic, and if you're in Bendigo, it only takes sort of 10 minutes to walk around, but you got to have a look at it. I don't think we could make this today. On either side of the stained glass window there, Tube, is the organ pipes. It'd be great to hear it playing, I reckon. Apologies for the wind noise, guys. It's blowing a bit of a gale today and it is absolutely freezing. But anyway, this is some of the surrounding grounds around the cathedral, and they're obviously beautifully maintained. There's lots of little memorials and that sort of thing, remembering various people and probably significant local people. But yeah, as I say, beautiful grounds and all of that. And coming up is a statue of Saint Mary MacKillop, was it, or whatever her name was, some bloody thing like that. But yeah, so that's a bit of local Australian significance to the church, I suppose. What? Grab that, please. I'm busy. Here we have Dumb and Dumber setting up their camp. After a couple of drinks between the pair of them, they can't figure out even how to do this.
We should have done this in the daylight.
No, that would have been common sense. These guys have no common sense.
In the dark. Yeah, where's this go? I think this must...
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Pete's about to break his neck
I think
going
it
up
goes
this ladder.
somewhere here.
No,
Where's this go?
it goes at the end. Around the end to hold it up.
No, I'm going good. It's not even mine.
Tubers, this is how not to set up a swag, okay?
This is just perfect. Oh fuck, we'll just sleep in it as it is. All under control, Nick.
Yeah, on my camper. I've got all these.
All right, and what's all that for, Pete?
It's a light.
Ah,
And it goes up through there.
oh, righto.
That's me on off.
This is starting to look pretty ugly, Tubers.
Again from the side. Oh, I knew that.
What's that? Would you trust these guys to deliver a load of concrete to your house?
Oh shit, you ain't fucking one.
Need you to go up that way.
No, I'm just gonna...
Oh, well, here's the Frankston sand, boys. Mark the guru and Pete the supervisor. And I think Pete's got more brains than Mark at the moment. Pete's the Deegan Beach, so Pete won't be doing anything. And yeah, we'll see how we go. Well, here goes Sock. He reckons he's onto a signal here.
Hey?
What do you reckon, Sock?
I'm a fucking millionaire. I'm sorry. I'm a millionaire.
What do you reckon, Mark?
Hey? Is it right or not? Like I'm getting
Yeah, you can dig it.
Start digging,
Pete.
Pete.
Be a pig. No, that's not too bad. Try to keep it as low as you can, even if you scrape the surface, because it's got a skid plate on it.
Is that a sound?
No. You'll know when you get something.
What do you reckon, Mark?
Pete's doing really good.
Up this way, tubers, you've got to come here. This is the Huntley Hotel. Great feed, really friendly staff. It's just all been refurbished, and they've done it really nicely. Yeah, nice theme to it, and that old theme. And as you go out the back, as you'll see in a minute, they're still setting it all up, but they're building a massive smoker. And yeah, they're going to smoke meat and all sorts of stuff in it. So this is going to be great. It's going to be well worth coming back in about a month, they reckon. So if you're in Huntley, come here and have a feed. Yeah, this is the smoker, guys, and this thing's going to be fantastic. It's an old steam pressure vessel or something, and she's about 10 to 15 millimetres thick. Yeah, so they're just in the process of hooking it all up, and then they're going to burn it in, and yeah, can't wait to try this thing out. Well, tubers, between the Gold Monster and the GPZ 7000, we went on to find absolutely nothing. But anyway, that's that's all part of the fun about getting out in the bush and having a bit of a scratch and a laugh. But yeah, disappointing. The weather wasn't anything fantastic either. It was sort of on and off showers and pretty cold in Bendigo. But anyway, that's part 28, guys. I am probably going to pack up here on Monday morning and head maybe down Maryborough way and have a look. These two bozos will be going back to work on Monday. Yeah, so anyway, so that was all good. Thank you to my subscribers and to my viewers. And I shall see you all in part 29. Have fun, guys.